I got time up. I'm not very professional. But I'm going to tell you something. I'm just sitting here thinking. I'm only thinking when I'm washing the dishes. Just be right back. You got the police coming around. I'm claiming elder abuse. Okay, I'm going to talk to you about a couple of things. We've got a time restraint in Ontario on civil litigation. And, why I couldn't get civil litigation, I was in a state of, I call it state psychology, because I had the compound PTSD caused by abuse of being removed from a house with not understanding the whole case. And the case was, I was living there free. Sure, I was. I wasn't getting help from the government of local social workers. I was trying to get back to work. Yeah, it's political. It's progressive conservative stupidity again. I'm living in a conservative riding. And I travel Canada with hardly any money. So this guy says, just pay up. I don't have to pay up. Well, that's not their fault that you didn't, they built here. It is their fault. I'm facing elder neglect. I got no food. Oh, I'll get a guy to lower your thing. No, you could have done. You could have helped me get my business going. They've canceled about 5 times. So I got to go to Ottawa. I got 3 days to go. I called the police. I'm claiming elder abuse. He's gaslighting me because he knows he's wrong. I'm going to report the Canadian. It's not working. And this is why I'm for a better system. I had PTSD. I was thrown out of the house. I couldn't believe what I went through. I was homeless because of those kids. And then I found, Greg, it's 5 years. Yeah, PTSD. I got a human rights tribunal. There's an agent there. Is she trained? Is she trained to tell me that her PTSD is worse than mine? I don't think so. She doesn't tell me what her PTSD is. You can't measure it. Okay, post-traumatic stress. And if you tell them on the phone, are you a soldier? No, I'm a victim of armed robbery. I'm a victim of a lot of crime. Everything doesn't measure up. As a clinician of post-traumatic stress, I've been studying it. You know, he's got what I call frustration trauma. It's just measured by the intensity of big T or little t. You can't measure trauma that way. He's a soldier. He's watching women getting raped in Afghanistan. But he's not getting shot at. Nobody's got a gun. The UN won't let him shoot those bastards. And he says this is a Taliban culture. But you're a human being. You're watching women being raped. Yeah, because they're bloody terrorists. And then he starts yelling at me. He's a vet, a hero, young man. He's in his 30s, good-looking guy. His head's messed up. Is it messed up? I don't think you're messed up. I think we're sick hearing that. So he can't get through to anybody. No. They've never been in the war zone. And that's what I'm finding. Nobody wants, even therapists don't want to go there now. I can't handle it. Well, you haven't got a EI. I'll tell you something I've learned about. You heal somebody from trauma, major trauma, and clear it out if you can do it. And it takes time. It's not a drug. There's a lot of people giving up helping people. And I don't blame you. Because it's the ivory tower psychology. It doesn't work. Do you know any trauma therapy? No. What if I told you all the problem is trauma? Is trauma. They're in the ivory tower. No, we work on bipolar, all these things, but they mimic the trauma within the person. Childhood trauma? Is this a science? Yeah, it's just in another ivory tower. Why can't people, if I'm whipping you and you want to get the kink treatment, there must be a word there saying red flag, saying something. Maybe that's enough kink. But when a person's using a red flag, it's saying, sir, please back off. I got post-traumatic stress, and you're supposed to be a therapist? You don't like his attitude. I see a young man that's got post-traumatic stress. Families are terrible now. Why? Because the social media institution that they grew up on, they're not paying attention to the kids. Sir, I got post-traumatic stress. That's a red flag. Lay off. Give him rain. But you're starting saying he's giving me attitude. No, he's looking at you that way because he's not safe. His cortisol levels are going up in the head. And I want to talk to you about this legal system of the victim of crime should not be the victim, be manipulated by the crook, the guy that's getting the crook off. It's got to be some knowledge of the psychology of this. Here's a case. She's a gainfully employed paramedic in Toronto, right? I listen to this. I got thinking about it. She goes in, a psychopath murdered all these people. Yeah, it could be post-traumatic stress. What's he do? He exasperates it because he's going to get the crook off. Go up to him and look him in the eye and tell him he did it. Yeah, she did. She did exactly what you said. She said she had post-traumatic stress from looking in the eye of an evil, damn psychopath, and lost her job because she was drinking. There was no intervention of a Canadian paramedic in that situation. What's wrong with the court system? You need darn trauma therapists and people that are victims of crime and not this soft shoe. So I talked to the police. They're starting to listen to me. And I know women I do Reiki on them, and they come to me because they can't go to anybody else. They've been raped. Do they deserve that? I don't think so. Because the system's not working right. Now, we got a 2-year time frame on civil litigation. But what if it was years ago? Oh, no, that's thrown out. There's something wrong there. I looked at a case and I finally got my head together and I figured it out because nobody else was figuring it out. That's a criminal offense. But oh no, it's a 2-year time frame. You won't get it back. Well, I got a crime frame on a psychiatrist killing me. I got the levels of the drug, but it was 20 years ago. See, if they're defending that type of psychiatry of malpractice, and I got and I got documents on it, but it's over the time frame. Is there any litigation? I was sitting on a disability and I wanted to work. But, I'll tell you something. I didn't want to work for anybody. Because half the problem was the horse racing industry to the equestrian industry. And taking an education course and knowing that the bosses weren't doing it right. The owners, they don't have any knowledge. I'm the man with knowledge. What if you have knowledge and you know your employer is not working right? You're in a medical field and you can't get past it? The ivory tower kid. And you came out of university with a different understanding of a new knowledge of what you learned. But you can't say anything. So you got a nice statistic relationship in this psychology they call in business. Where am I learning this? I'm learning it from Blinkist, and there's a lot of psychology, but it's not psychology for anything else but this. Here's a girl coming in. See, these girls come on here and looking for Mr. Right. There's tons of them. But why? Oh, they're dancing in the dark on a dating app. Lots of women out there. Why? Social media. We know it's an addiction. And I've never seen so many lonely hearts in a younger generation. We got a crazy world right now. If you put it together, it doesn't make sense. Dating apps where nobody meets anybody, marriages breaking up in a short time period. So what if I said if divorces are mirroring the democracy? We haven't got a democracy in Canada. We haven't had one since Stephen friggin' Harper. No. Our media sources are not transparency. They should be called out. Called out. I want to see where you're getting this information. You're not making sense. I get on here. There's things that are what I call climate denying. All over. There's a war on. And they're using old environmental models. And I wanted to see that nexus. It seems like they're offering travel plans. Nexus is a bunch of climate deniers. They're attacking climate scientists. Now, what sort of system is this? A free media system. Now, I'm not making any claims. I'm just tethering up some ideas. If I make a claim and say that's true, and it's not true under a legal litigation, you should be sued. But anybody can throw anything up there. How do you shut down Nexus through false information? Can you? Yeah. The only thing we could ever do is transparency. And yeah, I talked to RCMP. Wouldn't it be nice if everything was transparent? You could see everybody as a scammer. You could see everybody was a terrorist. And you just cuff them, put them away. But they won't tell you. Good thing, RCMP at border security telling me that. It would be so easy, Craig. Yeah, it would be. Just cuff them. Are you a terrorist? Oh, yeah. Thanks. And then I don't have too hard a job. But you might be a terrorist with guns in that car. But we got statutes protecting you. So who's winning here? I'll hide it away. I don't have guns. I don't have drugs. I don't have nothing in there. So, what we do is we got the civil rights lawyers coming in. And, police have to use a mantra. Isn't this one I'm watching? That's police brutality, is it? Well, they got him on in Walmart. And permissible evidence is you sold a $1,000 computer. I got put your hands behind your back. I'm going to cuff you. Putting you on the floor. I'm going to cuff you. I'm going to cuff you. I'm going to cuff you. I counted it was 20 times. And then it got to that point. He took the damn taser out and tased him. And then you hear the guy saying police brutality. How many times did you say that in the mantra? So where's police justice coming in on social media? And we're just empowering the criminal lawyers to get them out. There's so many criminals out there hooked on this damn thing that they're going out there. I've seen people. I could sue them. Not sue them, but I'm in jail. You can't go online and say I'll murder you because you're defending the police. I'll come up and murder you. Oh, well, these phones have got what they call you can take a screenshot, send it to the jurisdiction, look up their file, and they'll come knocking on your door. And they might be police brutality, because they'll arrest you and throw you in jail. In most jurisdictions, you cannot utter deference. But they're in the echo chamber and they're going to be uttering deference. I don't think it's a healthy community anymore. Social media has been the foundation of a garbage, and now it's misinformation. Where are you getting the facts about climate change? Where are you getting the facts that it's political? So it's got no. It gets to the airy place like what do they call it? Well, in a non a system that's hearsay. So you can't prove it. But now they're using the term in a democracy, it's a slippery slope. Your rights over somebody else's. So we keep the democracy up. But now it's anything that somebody says that AI says that's controversial. So I ask AI, what do you mean controversial? It's a slippery slope. My psychology is I had a client and she was mirroring her husband, getting mad because she was a musician, top. I'm not just mentioning her name because that's private currency. But she sees him sitting watching television. All I do is watch that bloody television. But what are you doing? What's your mind saying? You're looking at a mirror of where you feel you are because you're an artist and you got to write some music, get in the studio. So I'm using this because I'm thinking of getting into the music industry to get them unstuck professional artists. See the mirror? Your husband sitting there watching television. It's you, mind being mirrored to that you're stuck. Get in the studio, start writing and composing. And you did. You finally freaking got out of that stuckness. How many artists go through that? Well, there's a psychology of creativity. We get in these areas that aren't working. Music is a very nuanced field to be a recording star artist and write music. And you're always going to have to keep on writing music. You can come up with a hip hop junk, and I think it's going out because music systems weren't like that before. You couldn't dump garbage out into like a sausage factory and high compression rate. Why? Well, we got to compress the tracks down because you're just using DAW. Australia's starting to use tape to narrow down the clipping. DAW is digital, and you have to narrow it down. So you use tape, and then you put it back to DAW system. But nobody's looking at anything anymore. Just high compression. You know where it's robbing the music industry? The high end Audiophiles could really be improved. More jobs, more people producing really good quality audio systems instead of making it for earbuds, you know. And look at the price of earbuds. Little wee cans that you could lose on the sidewalk are about the price of what we used to buy Clipshorns for. It's getting crazy. Do they sound good? They have a little streaming services are getting a little better, but they're not like a good audio system with a vinyl grade or a CD grade. The CD's clearer than a stream level, a bit rate higher. So what is this? We're killing ourselves in the music industry. It's been sucking for a long time because there's no progression. And here's a black man in New York saying, "Don't you like black people?" So I'm a racist. I'm a racist, he says. No, I don't think so. Because you just said something that's about making money. Well, that's money before the dollar. Just putting junk out there and you're making money. Sausage factory, it's not music. And am I against music? I'm for music that represents that generation, which I call lost. I call it the lost generation. With this amount of technology, the amount of making tools work for us, it's value. Social media has no value. Yeah, it has value to push junk out. We got a junk society now. There's no value to it. I can go out there and they'll hustle. Yeah, they'll hustle. Make a sale on furniture. And then somebody else comes along and sees it sitting out there. It doesn't resonate with me. Big ticket items. So there's a couple of ways that he says, "I'll just get somebody to budget for you." I can't budget anymore. I can't budget. Well, this is not their fault. There's the police. I gotta go.